inviting me here to speak to you all tonight. I was very honored, and having this crown on my head still hasn't hit me yet. I'm still so honored to be speaking in front of you and humbled. So tonight I really wanted to talk to you guys about college, because that's what the NCABT is all about. So whether if you're in high school still or in college now, I think this is definitely something that you guys can take to heart and consider. Twirling on the football field is like no other. I twirled at the University of Connecticut in front of 40,000 fans, which is pretty big from in the Northeast, I will add. I twirled at basketball games, I twirled at Madison Square Garden, and as you know, twirling in front of an audience is like no other experience in the world. Yes, literally, there's weather, there's wind, there's sun, there are tubas, there are band members, there are marriage proposals, there are cat calls from audience members that you pretend to ignore because you're blushing so much you need to turn around and face the other audience. Okay, so literally it is not like twirling at a competition at all. And more than that, it's so different twirling in front of an audience because a crowd wants you to succeed. They want you to catch it. It's not about what tricks you do, how your double illusion if you caught it that day. It's about, did you catch your single illusion and did you smile really big afterwards? Okay, all of these things are so important. Absorb every moment of that. But beyond that, there's something that you might not have really yet considered. Okay? When you put on that Cincinnati uniform, you are not just a twirler. You are a mascot for your school. Thank God we don't have to wear those big heads and whatever you guys have to wear, except on those really cool games. I'm sure you guys will. Yeah. But you're a mascot for your school. You are the voice of baton twirling as a whole, and you are the spotlight of your marching band. Okay, so there are three audiences I would like all of you guys to take into account when you step onto the band field. When you step onto the practice field, and when you're just walking around campus. You do have your audience is the band, projecting yourself in the best light possible. You have the decision makers at your university, the athletic director, even though we're not athletics, okay? Your president, and alumni. These are all really key factors in continuing twirling at your school. And finally, yes, there are your audience, your fans. Those people cheering you on, sporting your navy and white, okay? Those people cheering you on, okay? And I just would like to give you guys a little personal experience on how to address these three audiences. So again, the band. It's really important that your band members don't just see you as the prima donna twirler, because I know my aunt Diane twirled at BC, Boston College, and I no longer have the opportunity to twirl there anymore because one band member had a bad experience with a prima donna, and so there are no longer twirlers at Boston College, which is unfortunate, right? We don't want that to happen. So get involved with your band. Do you guys have a sorority at your band? You know, if you feel like joining the sorority, go for it. I personally became the vice president of the marching band so that they saw me not just as a twirler, but also as an integrated band member. Go to fundraising events. That's great for resume building, especially when you're getting to the real world, where I am now. It definitely is a huge resume builder. Sit with your band members. Go to band activities, because it is so important that you become such good friends with these people. You spend hours upon hours. Bus rides, plane rides if you're lucky, you never got any of those, with these people. And all of you will experience the same thing. These people will be your best friends because you do spend so much time with them. All right, then I said there's that second audience. I'm not telling you to be best friends with the president of your university, but specifically at UConn, our president was our biggest fan. Unfortunately, he left. He left. He loved us, but then he left. Okay, but he was one of our biggest supporters. And that is a great thing because you would like to see these decision makers supporting the band and supporting the twirlers as a whole, because that's where scholarship funding comes in. They're the ones that determine the budget. So whether that means going up and introducing yourself to these people, or just maintaining that professionalism, wearing your sweatsuits on and off the field, maintaining poise on and off the field. Just because you step off the field doesn't mean that you lose that smile. Just like at a baton competition, you don't want anyone to see you crying or upset or getting angry. Same thing at a football field. When you walk off that football field, even if you don't think you had the best performance, or at a high school game, if you don't think you had the best performance, they have no idea. So just maintain that poise and professionalism, and people will respect twirling as a sport, not just as that flair to the band or that sparkle to the band, okay? All right, then finally, you have your fans. These are your biggest supporters, so if that means taking some photos with any of your fans, that's great. I made a really good relationship my freshman year. This guy came up to me. I was new, no idea what was going on. I was bombarded with people. I didn't really know what to do. This one guy came up to me and he showed me his camera. He's like, look, I've been taking all these photos. Can I have your email address? Of course, I think, okay, this is a little weird. So, and he just has photos on photos. I'm like, okay, these are great photos, thank you. Over the course of those 4 years, I maintained a great relationship with this fan, and he became the official photographer. So like, what a great perk. My mom didn't have to worry about bringing her camera to the football games because I had this guy documenting every single thing. All right, it would have been nice if he had known a little more about baton twirling, because I had some photos like this, or like a really bad illusion. I'm like, oh, is that really what I look like? All right, but it was still, again, great. You know, build these relationships with these fans. They can be your biggest supporters, and I'm sure, speaking with a bunch of other girls, do you guys have a lot of, I keep looking at you, but do you guys have fans at your school that are really supportive of you guys? Yeah. Any marriage proposals? No. Any serious ones? There's a serious marriage proposal with a ring involved. I mean, I'd take a second look at it. But again, it's really important for the entire sport of baton twirling that when you step into that uniform, you are, again, not just twirling for your school, for the University of Connecticut. You are the representation in front of 40,000 people, 80,000 people. You are one of 5 twirlers, 12 twirlers. And that's the only impression that they will probably get of baton twirling. We don't want them to think of, oh, majorette, parade, and that's it. What we'd like to try to project is this sport of baton twirling as we see it, because we train just as hard as so many other athletes do, and that's what's so important about the NCABT, is building baton twirling again as a sport, as an NCAA sport if possible. Who wouldn't die to be in the Olympics? Not just the Junior Olympics, but the real Olympics, okay? And we can get ourselves there by, again, maintaining that professionalism and speaking about baton twirling in the best light that it is. Call it an art, if you will, but I will call it a sport, because I am in the gym for as many hours as you all are, training really hard. So I guess that's all I really have to say for tonight, but live up every moment at school. You only have 8 home games a year. If you get to go to away games, great. Take advantage of all twirling opportunities at your school, whether it's at pep rallies, basketball games, our women's team. I don't know if you heard, we won 19 in a row, so I twirled at women's games. Volleyball games I did in front of 100 fans. Whatever, it was still fun and still exhilarating to twirl. So really take advantage of every single opportunity and get out there as much as you can. Thank you.
Alyssa, you are a fabulous representative of the sport of baton twirling.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank you for
Very
coming.
much. Thank you.